You're about to listen to the award-winning Stuart Pedasso Show. This show is for biologically and emotionally mature audiences. If you should not be here, please go away. We'll still be here when you're mature enough to partake. Mwah!
I haven't tested this yet. Oh, it works. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Stuart Pedasso Show. I'm Dave.
I'm Melissa.
I'm Stella.
And Stella is with us. Let me see. How can is there like an actual designation of, are we actually considered relatives?
You're in-law relatives.
We are relatives.
You're relatives by marriage.
Just, yeah, not by blood.
We're like 18th cousins.
Yeah, you'd be
something?
cousins. You would both be
I don't know how that
cousins.
works.
Yeah, you'd be cousins by marriage.
Yeah.
Well, then I know,
Because she's related to Patrick, and Patrick is married to
my
your
cousin.
cousin, and that is how. So you would be like, you're like cousin marriage by cousin.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're fans
That's
all
how
here.
it is. Your you're I don't know, whatever. You're yeah.
All right.
That's how it goes, though.
In other words, we go to the family barbecues together.
Yeah, you see each
That
other at
kind
the
of-
family
we see it at the
barbecue.
family
You might
barbecue.
all see each other at the family
Yeah,
barbecue.
right.
Yeah,
But it's different sizes of the family, but y'all end up showing up.
Last time we saw each other, which is how I said you should need to come on the show, was at your
My grandma's.
Barbara's birthday.
90th.
90th
Man,
birthday.
bless that woman. She's amazing.
She's a good grandma.
She's pretty great.
Oh, yeah.
You're a lucky person to have a grandma.
Have you
like that.
been in a... She's still driving.
Yeah. She's strong. She's holding it in.
Jill was... I don't know if I should say
yeah.
this out loud. Jill,
You
she's
can.
still got she always has. Not now that she's 90. She's like lead foot. That's what...
My mom used to have a lead foot, but she doesn't anymore.
Yeah.
She's a little bit of a speeder.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what a lead foot
Yeah.
means. That means you like
Yeah.
to speed. Yeah, my mom used to do that
But
too,
at
but now
90,
she doesn't.
that's not-
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
No,
We're
I'm
trying
glad she doesn't.
We're trying to work her off of it.
Get her-
but yeah,
It's too bad she
but
lives so far out. We can get her a bus pass.
She doesn't live that far out.
Okay, the bus doesn't go out to Webster that much.
Yeah.
I know life is worth living.
Oh, it doesn't?
How often does it go to... No.
I wouldn't know. Why would I? I've
Does
never
the
lived
bus
there.
even go out to Webster? Of
course.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course it does. It probably isn't like... I mean, it's not like the
Not
bus...
by her house, though, that's for sure.
Yeah,
No,
maybe
She
not.
would have to, I don't know.
Hike.
Yeah, she'd have to hike to get to... That's what a 90-year-old needs to do.
Yeah.
Full pack.
That's all right. I'm sure there's plenty of relatives around that can take Barbara where she needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
Is she still in the same house, too?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's a lot of house to keep up.
It is a lot of house. She wants a smaller house,
I would, too. That's a lot of house for
but
someone
it
her
costs
age.
money
It does.
to have a different house.
It does.
in
It
this
does.
Oh, especially these days. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And then move, and that's a lot. Oh man, to downsize your grandmother, that would be such a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of understand why she'd maybe just want to live there, because you could just relegate yourself to just like a few rooms that you mostly hang out in.
I'm not trying to be maudlin or anything, but I mean, when you're 90, let's just be honest.
I mean, I would love it if my mom would sell her house and move out here.
I mean, wherever I am in 90, that's pretty much where I'm dying.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be...
I could die in the house I'm at
What?
right now. It'd be fine.
Oh, you looked at me like, oh. Like, oh. No, if I can get there, I'm like, I'm good, man. Just leave me alone. I don't care how big the house is.
Yeah.
But I'll do that. I'll just stick to whatever the 2 rooms is closest to the bathroom. I'm good.
Yeah, you just like a kitchen. You need a bedroom, maybe a second room to like watch your stories.
I better start getting into stories.
Stories.
Boy. Woo.
Oh, so back in the day, we used to kind of joked around. We called the soap operas.
Soap
You know
operas.
about soap operas?
Those
Your
my
mom was
stories.
probably in some soap operas. I bet. Was she ever in a soap?
I don't know.
Maybe she was.
I don't know.
She was on Party of Five, which was like a nighttime soap opera once. But anywho,
Yeah.
Anyway, soap operas, that was a big thing once upon a
They were
time.
called my stories.
And people would call them, and especially moms who would stay home. Those are their stories. Like, hey,
stories.
everybody shush, my stories are on.
yeah.
Okay.
Your stories.
Can't miss my stories. I
Yeah.
have to be home at 2. My stories.
My stories are on. And as far as I know, my ex-husband still watches them on occasion, at least a little bit. It's all right. He watches his stories.
I believe it.
He does.
I totally see that.
He does.
Jerry would totally do that.
It's sort of cute. I actually think it's really dorky, but it's kind of cute in a way. I think it's General Hospital and one other one that's on the same channel.
I don't mean this to be sexual unless it is.
Mm-hmm.
But when he watches them, does he have a shirt on?
I don't know. I don't live with him anymore, so I don't know what he does.
I just thought maybe you'd...
Well, you know what? The dude does like to not wear shirts. That's why
I brought it up. Well, there was the million years ago we did a show and a band name came out of it. Shirtless Jerry.
Shirtless Jerry. Yeah, because I got mad at him for doing that one time, which is funny now.
So
which is funny now. I mean, now it's funny.
At the website, stuartbordasco.com, there's a page on there. Every time somebody comes up with something that sounds like it'd be a good band name, it gets added to the list. There's way over 100 band names on there.
Gotcha.
And Shirtless Jerry's one of them.
My friend group did a similar thing where we call band names. Oh, band name called it.
Yes.
My band name.
Yep.
I even do that
drag
at school.
name sometimes. I've heard my drag name. I'll do drag name sometimes too if it sounds like it could be a drag name.
Yeah.
So I think new ones were added just the other day, I think. So if you have a chance to head on over.
Yeah, if you need a band name, you can take one of those. We don't have any.
Secondary Hot Dog is the latest band name.
Secondary Hot Dog. What kind of music would Secondary Hot Dog play? Dad rock?
Sure, I can do whatever you want.
I think dad rock.
I don't know.
Secondary Hot Dog.
Possibly.
Feeling like, yeah.
And there was another band name. I didn't tell you this.
It's like Peter Frampton or something.
Named after your son.
What's one? What one?
I hope you take this in the spirit it's intended.
What?
It's the new band name is Spicoli Who Fights. You know it's with love, right?
I know.
Okay.
Poor kid.
Okay, listen to the last show, dude.
I know.
Okay. I don't remember if it was during the show or after.
I don't know.
But he did say how much he likes a good fight.
But he doesn't fight.
Yes, he does.
Well, I mean,
listen to what he said. Go back and listen to the tape.
But it's like not real fighting. It's like him and his friends just like fucking around with each other and just they don't like real fight. I've seen it. They just like
wrestle.
Yeah, they're kind of like wrestling. You know, it's like you're like punching or you're like moving around and stuff, but like nobody's like mad at each other. It's just like I don't know. I guess this is a dude that I don't know anything about it.
That was never me.
I've heard that other people do this though. I've heard.
I have been known to be like one of the gals, so yeah, me not.
But sometimes Alex is also one of the gals. Like sometimes he does
that
role too.
Yeah.
But he's like, he's my kid, so of course he's got that dual personality. Yeah, he's like, I could be that, or I could also just hang out with you ladies and let's talk about what are you talking about? Makeup. He likes makeup.
So makeup. If you need a band name, you are encouraged to go to stuartbordasco.com and you can take one of ours. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Just let us know if you do.
Oh my gosh, it would be the best.
We'll totally hype up your band
one day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And up there, you can even see the screen capture of when Pam Grier, the actress Pam Grier, like responded to. She said something on her Twitter. I was like, "That's my new band name," and she actually interacted with me. Or Stuart, I should say. I know, Pam freaking Grier.
I know, it was pretty. We were all like.
I screen captured that bitch. It's up on the website. Hell yeah. I was pretty proud of that.
Yeah. I have one between me and Doyle von Frankenstein from Misfit. Yeah. Did you know that?
What? Who?
When I went and saw, it was just his band, Doyle.
Oh, music. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Misfits.
Okay.
Yeah. So Dan and I went to go see him. His band Doyle, that's called Doyle, and I was like right in front and was filming it, and he ended up throwing his pick to me at the end, and then later when we ended up we didn't pay for the meet and greet, but we got in there anyway because we did what we wanted. So we got in the meet and greet, and I took a picture with him.
It makes you a misfit.
And I posted it on Instagram, and it was really funny. I made a duck face. Like I don't know why. Like I never make duck faces. It was some weird thing.
Why would you make duck faces?
I don't know, but the fact that I did it, I thought was kind of stupid and funny at the same time. I'm like, I made a duck face with fucking dude from the Misfits. I'm like, what a freaking weirdo I am. But I was like, this is still so stupid. I'm posting it, and he liked it, and I screenshot the fact that he liked it too. So it's posted on my account twice because I also posted a second time to show that he liked it. I was like, oh my god, he liked it. I've heard he's a really nice guy. He looks like a tough guy, but he's really nice. Well, if he liked your duck face,
then I would think so. Anybody who liked your duck face, I would say is a nice guy.
Yeah. He's also vegan. He loves animals.
Okay.
That's nice.
Are you too? They're tasty. I know. I feel weird asking you this. Have you had any, I know you have, but encounters with, quote, famous people that you want to brag about, or
that you think is funny?
is it old hat to you? It's not even a big deal to you, is it?
Old hat. I don't have like. I'm not
From the
in
background.
California, they don't.
Yeah, from
live
the
there.
no, but from mom's background. There's no.
I mean, she has stories.
Well, I know she. Oh my god, I know we
I
know.
know. We
She has
know.
stories.
We've heard lots of her
But
stories.
I
She's
meant,
got
have
great
you,
stories.
Were you with her when something weird happened, or?
No.
Oh,
No,
that's
most
smart.
of that stuff happened because when she was like really active in like that community and stuff like that, she was in California and she was with my sister. When she moved out to, Rochester and stuff like that and had me, there wasn't really much going on because, her career in that area kind of died down because she was taking care of me and my sister and stuff like that. And then she became like a teacher at Roberts Wesleyan and stuff like that. So, there wasn't really.
Is that what she's doing now?
No.
Oh, because I haven't gotten any updates on what she's doing. We can talk about that after.
Yeah.
The show. Okay, all right. Sorry, it's just I did a family thing.
I know.
Sorry
It's
about
like
that.
kind of
Sorry.
like family things.
Sorry
Okay,
about
never mind.
that. Okay.
Not interesting for anyone else.
Okay.
Just us. That's yeah. I was thinking about this. I was trying to think about when I first met you. Before I came over here, I was like, when did I meet Stella? And I remember exactly where it was. I remember exactly how I met you.
Oh, yeah?
When you were a bebe. Obviously, you were a bebe. And we went on a boat. We went on one of Patrick and Jill's old boat. I don't know if they still have it, but they did. I don't know if they still have it, but anyway,
they still have
they
the
still
boat.
have the boat. So we were out on the boat, and I met up with Patrick. Picked me up, and we went out on the boat and with Alex, and then your mom, and you were there, and that time I met you, and you're a little baby, and you were so cute. And then they said your name, and of course I did the really obnoxious Stella thing, and then I never did it again.
Yeah.
And then I never did it again. I said I did it once, and I never did it again. I wouldn't be that person.
I don't mind it. I mean, I've gotten it my entire life.
I know.
Every
but
teacher, every person who I tell,
Have you-
everybody sees my name tag, Stella.
Right.
So have you this? All right, I got to see what this is about. Have you gone and watched the movie?
No, I haven't watched the movie. I've
Well, I
seen the
haven't.
clip of it.
Oh, sure.
I've seen
Okay,
the clip.
little
I've not
known
watched it.
fact about me. That is actually my favorite movie.
Oh, really?
It is my very favorite movie.
Wow. Okay.
Yep, true story.
Nice.
For those who don't know, what movie is that?
Really? Everybody knows that.
Bro, we have listeners in.
Streetcar Named Desire.
Okay, thank you.
The play is also
Never
fabulous.
assume, never
the play is
assume,
also
never-
fabulous to read, and I've read the play several times too. It's like the play is great to read. The movie is amazing. I know that Marlon Brando was a piece of shit, but goddamn it, the man was a great actor. Piece of shit person. Great actor.
I still, to this day, every once in a while in this weird jukebox of a brain of mine, just random shit popping up. The ongoing joke and the Chris Elliott thing on the Letterman show when he did Brando.
Did he do the orange in the mouth thing?
No, he would come out to this one stupid song that made no sense. I don't even know what this stupid song was. Kind of like a Bananas version of like about the fruit bananas of like a mole in the hole kind of song. And it was just this, and he'd always come out with shopping bags looking like this homeless dude. It was really, he was supposed to be Brando. It was pretty, it turns out.
Oh man, I'll have to look it up.
But every once in a while, it just pops
I mean,
in
Chris
my head
Elliott's
for
pretty
absolutely
funny.
no reason. So I wanted to ask you this, and this is, I figured I could have asked you at any time at any family function, but this just, I decided, well, now that I knew you were coming on, I'm going to ask you now.
Okay.
So other people can hear it too.
Okay.
So I know you went to the same school that my daughter went to, my wife went to, my sister went to. It is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to School of the Arts.
School of the Arts.
No, I work
Yeah.
right across from it. I know.
So
Great.
I
I
just
didn't
didn't
know
know
that. That's
what
wonderful.
was your focus there. They don't call it major, right? What
Yeah,
was-
they do
Yeah,
call
they
it.
call
Oh,
it
they call it
major.
major. Okay, I forgot what was your major there?
I was a visual arts major, and that's just like broad spectrum, like pretty much everything, like drawing, painting, photography. They do like online media as well, sculpture, stuff like that. Sometimes metalworking.
Ooh,
and
did
stuff
you
like
do
that.
some metalworking?
A little bit, but not like intense stuff. Like, so like for the first 2 years that you're there, when you're like in your like high school era, because they do middle school and high school,
Yep.
it's 7 through 12.
Yep.
And you pick your major, obviously, and then you do the first 2 years are like you do a little bit of everything, and they'll put you in for a quarter, which is half of a semester. A quarter they'll have you in drawing and painting and photography, and then another quarter they'll have you in sculpture, and which is called 3D over there, and then media, and then they'll alternate those for the entire year and stuff like that. And then your last 2 is where you pick 2 to focus on, so that those are like your main ones. And I picked visual arts, which is like drawing and painting, and then photography and stuff like that. But you do a little bit of everything, and when you're doing like the little bits of everything, it's just like little stuff, so just like basics and things like that.
But then you really get to try a little bit of everything and kind of find, I would imagine, you kind of see like things you really like.
The point. Yeah.
Oh, I think that's great. What do you really love to do? What kind of art do you really like? Do you really feel really passionate about that you enjoy doing?
I like to do illustration, so like like sketches and stuff like that, things like that. I'd like to get into doing like comics and graphic novels. That's what my career plan is, so that kind of falls under the illustration sort of thing. But yeah.
So your photography skills are?
They're decent. I know my way around a camera.
I might need to take advantage of that.
Okay.
My project next year that we talked about before.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Might need a little.
Okay, sure. I took my senior photos and I took other people's senior photos, so.
Because if you can make this look human, then you are a master. You're a master.
Sweetheart, there's such a thing as filters.
I know.
Maybe you've heard of that. I look like 10 years younger in all of my wedding photos. I'm like, oh, thank you, Hannah, for making my face look so young.
Our photographer for the wedding, my wife and I, not Melissa and me, for the wedding was a soda grad.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
Well, she wasn't even a grad at the time, actually. It was a friend Julia's, and they were in school together.
Gotcha.
And did our...
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they turned out great.
Mm-hmm. She did let when she wanted to, like, just focus on being social, let other people mess with her camera. So there's some really ass pictures in there, like... Jesus, what are you doing? Like, took his thumb. I'm like, bro, I knew that wasn't her because I saw.
Felix has got it going like this.
Yeah, right. Speaking of Felix, he's in town now. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Okay. So a friend of mine who I went to high school with, and I'm now going to talk about him behind his back.
And I sort of know of him a little bit, also in a roundabout way, because I used to work with his sister.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, and his sister and I are friends on Facebook.
Felix is like my brother. I love him to death.
You do.
But sometimes he can be Felix, man. So
anytime I've interacted with him, I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, just saying.
He texts me Friday to tell me he's in town, so there's no advance notice. Okay.
That's
yeah.
Right.
Okay. And so after school I call him up and this is funny. It actually kind of involves you a little bit, Stella.
Okay.
So yeah, I know. So
like I don't even know that guy.
I know. So we're talking. He's I'm here to I know why he was in town. So he's here for this family thing, but the last we had talked, he didn't definitely say he was coming up. So yeah, and we're trying to figure out a time when I can get to see him, just to kind of hang out. And he said he was going to call me yesterday, and he never did. Because he's Felix. But it's like, he was, well, how about Sunday? We should come over to my sister's and we'll watch the game. Because we're actually recording this show while the big game. I don't come sue me.
Super Bowl. We don't care.
Come sue me.
I don't give a. What
do you want? My debt? You can sue me for my debt.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah.
And if it was like, not that I have anything against Usher. I mean, he's a fine performer and stuff, but I'm not a huge fan.
No.
He's fine, but it's just not my thing. So I don't even care. Like, there's literally nothing I care about.
No.
Even like one of my friends today mentioned, well, what about the commercials are fun. I'm like, but everyone's going to talk about the commercials later, and then I can just go on YouTube and find them.
Right.
I'm like, I don't have to put myself through watching a football game and then watching a halftime show that I'm only slightly interested in.
Right.
Like even last year, Rihanna, I was like, oh, Rihanna's playing. Oh, I want to see Rihanna. So, which I still thought it was great. But.
And so Felix said, we'll come over and watch the game. I was like, well, actually, I already have plans. We're doing the podcast then. And he's like,
what podcast? Oh, our podcast.
Our podcast.
Oh, I thought you said he was saying that.
No,
Never
I
mind.
was saying
Sorry.
that. And he's like, oh, cool. Mikey and I can come right over for that. I'm like, I didn't ask you. I was like, well, I already have a guest on. I already scheduled. And And
Hello.
yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. I was like, I didn't say this way to him, but I implied, like, bro, I didn't ask you to come and be on the show.
I'm just telling you what I'm doing, and
Yeah.
then I will talk with you later.
It's a little awkward, but he's been on the show, I believe. He's been on the
He
show,
has,
right?
yeah. I was here when he was here one time.
And so that was all cool if we didn't already have something planned. But I'm like, dude, no, I'm not bumping somebody because you tell me the day you get here. I'm like, no.
Oh, is Mike's hanging out with him?
Not that I know of.
We said him and Mikey will be right over. Did he mean cheese?
Yeah. He didn't ask if Mike was going to do
Probably
it.
didn't even ask cheese.
He didn't.
He just like, yeah, picking up cheese. I'll be right there.
And yeah, like honestly, I don't even know if Mike can make it up the stairs. Just be honest. I don't know with his knee. I don't know if he can make it up. Yeah. So anyway,
anywho,
yeah, it was just
old people
but
stuff.
Those are your best friends, man. You take things for granted, and it was pretty funny. So he's gonna leave, and I won't have seen him.
Oh,
I know. I hung out all day waiting for him to call, sitting by the phone,
like a teenage girl.
Yep.
Totally like a
just
teenage
remind
girl.
me more teenage boy in this case.
Yeah.
Totally.
You can tell him about that later and tell him how disappointed you are.
Oh, I'm totally gonna give him shit. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
Felix, he is so.
of
I know
course
he's
I
not
am.
gonna listen to the show. Felix, he's so disappointed in you.
Yeah. So, all right. So let me get to the one big thing. You're gonna make it about me.
Okay.
Now we had talked about Melissa and I talked about how this was coming, and I did it. I finally got the results back from my DNA test.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, I'm so excited to hear.
Well, okay.
It seems like you're not excited about
Well,
it.
Nothing
okay.
surprised me.
There's
You're like, no,
there's some things on here. I'm kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
So let's start with my background.
Okay.
So we knew my mother's side. I thought pretty much straight German,
Yeah.
right?
That's never that way, though.
Well, it's
German,
generally seems to be,
Polish,
but also
some
mixed
Polish?
in there. Actually, I am French.
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 That's not surprising.
No one in my family has ever said anything about
Yeah,
France.
but it's right there. It's right next
I know
door.
it's right there. I'm just somebody snuck across the border and got a little quickie, and somebody in my family ended up getting made because of it, apparently. So I got some. So
That's
now
a French.
So now I can say I can go around and eat French fries and
French dressing.
right?
And Peru.
From speaking of movies, Better Off Dead.
One of the best
Yep.
movies
So
from the 80s
if
ever.
you ask anybody in my family on my father's side and the
like, I'm
Jewish
Jewish.
side,
He's like, he just says I'm Jewish, right?
no, we are supposedly Sephardic.
You thought you were Sephardic.
That's what I said. Apparently now I am 38% Ashkenazi.
Oh.
So I might be adopted by a different Jew or something, because
No, you
That's not the same thing.
you and Jill have the exact same smile. So I know you're related because you may not look anything else alike, but you have the exact same smile.
okay. Well, all I'm saying is,
And Tracy looks enough, and Tracy kind of looks like her, I think, too.
So I don't know. Somebody was saying, because it's always been, no, we're from Spain, and
Yeah.
I
Well,
got-
maybe they just are wrong.
they are.
They're
Well,
just wrong.
My
I mean, you can't deny
my
DNA.
sister and my dad have done this using a different company.
Okay.
So I will be in Arizona in April, and
you can-
don't worry, we'll be comparing notes.
Oh, that's great.
Cool.
So there's a little 1%y kind of thing of Italian.
Okay.
No one mentioned that before.
Jewish, probably the same side.
Whoops. And then comes one that's even a little weirder. 3.5%. Apparently, I'm Iranian.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like, really?
Ashkenazi. That's the Ashkenazi, though. That's probably in the same size as your dad, I bet.
Some broadly northern and West Asia, 0.3%.
Probably
0.5
northern West Asia.
North African. Really weird. The whitest person you know. The only thing I'm very
Dan's partner. Dan's
but he's
African.
like darker.
My husband is not that dark.
Yeah, but if it's a small percentage.
No, it's totally, it's wafer thin.
Yeah,
It's nothing.
so
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan's got more than.
No,
that than
mine's
you do.
wafer thin.
there are
nothing
plenty
else.
of white people in
But
Africa.
but the Iran part was like, really? Okay, that's interesting. So that was.
That's also a good point. There are plenty of white people in Africa.
like,
There are
ooh,
white people in
So
Africa.
we're gonna have an interesting discussion.
Wait, which side of Africa? It said North Africa?
Yeah.
Because Dan's dad did it, and his said sub-Saharan Africa. So maybe that must be different. That's got to be different.
Yes, the Sahara's in the north, and sub, which means below.
How interesting, since they're Northwestern African in
Yeah, but
where they were from.
Well, whatever, but I'm from France now, so whatever.
Well, my ex-husband found out he was part Lebanese. He was like, "What the hell did this come from?" Like Lebanese.
The thing I'm most happy about, and that I can get in people's faces now for it,
is that you're not Irish.
That I'm not Irish.
I did that too.
God damn it.
Because that's what he was. People always think he's Irish.
And I say there's
you're ginger.
There's no Irish in my family.
Because there's no gingers anywhere else in
There's
the
no
world.
gingers.
And they refuse to believe it, and they like call me the biggest liar ever. And I'm like, bro, now I have documentation.
Nice.
I'm Iranian, so fuck with me.
That is interesting.
That doesn't mean anything. I was just being. So the reason I did this wasn't even about to find out my background.
Well, it's fun though.
Yeah. But the reason I did it was because of the cancer scare I had at the end of last year, and I wanted to see the medical part.
Yeah.
And this is the part where it gets in. Now, some of the things they can tell you based on your DNA, it doesn't mean you're going to have or get something, but you have to be careful. You have to watch. You have a
you have a proclivity to
proclivity. Thank you. That's
Yes.
the word. You have a proclivity of having to deal with stuff. Some of them were right there. High blood pressure. Been dealing with it for 40 years.
Mine was my big one was diabetes, which is like rampant in my family.
Yes.
Rampant in my family.
And then it said a high proclivity, or whatever word they used, for. I'll wait till you put your beer down before I do this one.
All right, let me drink it too.
Yeah,
okay.
right.
All right, go ahead.
For ADHD.
Okay.
Okay, no reaction. Okay, so I read this.
I mean, that doesn't shock me, but
Okay, well, this is where I'm going. So I read this, and I'm like, really? Okay, fine. So I like taking stuff like this, not because I like to share my life with everybody all the time. He said as he just does a podcast.
I mean,
every
we
week.
do actually, but
And you're lucky. I'm just going to say this, and I will not expound on it. This week, I'm not going to talk about my junk.
I'm sure Stella's so happy to hear that.
That's excellent news.
Well, there were like 4 shows in a row for some reason. It always went back to that.
because you have a hernia.
No, way before the hernia part.
Let me see. I'm just saying, like hernias kind of go along with the junk talk too, since
No, but there was that other time where
Other
just for
stuff.
some reason, wherever we rambled to,
I don't know.
all roads led to my junk.
knows?
Anyway, so the reason I bring this, so I talk about my life with my students on purpose. When I do it, when I have a reason for it, when I want them to understand that there's more than their lives in the world, just where they live in this small town they live in. And so I literally showed them this thing of all my background of where I'm, my history, where I'm supposed to be.
Was there anything
from.
you think of on your mom's side that seemed odd? Do you think on your mom's side, or does it look like she's like legit like German French, and that's probably it?
Yeah, that's probably what I'm getting. Yeah. That's
Oh,
probably
interesting.
it. So, like my students, and actually it's not just where I am now, I've noticed for the past few years, no matter where I've been teaching, these students don't know the difference between a city, a state, or a country. I'll say, give me a country, and one of my kids will go Texas. Right. So I took this with a map just to show them other places.
Great.
Right? Not
Awesome.
Just, hey, let's talk about Dave for 20
No, it's
minutes.
a good lesson,
Right.
good history lesson.
And because
you know,
it connects
geography.
to geography, and it connects to the teacher, hopefully it'll stick in their heads a little bit. So we'd already done the thing, and I made French jokes the rest of the day, and they were really getting annoyed with me. I was doing dad jokes about France like the entire day. And
how French are you?
it just says French and German 51.1%.
Oh yeah, mine is basically it says the same
So
thing.
doesn't-
But I know I'm pretty much mostly German.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
my last
I know
name's
I am
fucking
too. Yeah, yeah.
Schroeder. I mean,
So
pretty German.
I did it to every one of my classes, and then I did it to the principal. And every single time went, and can you believe that report said I have a high percentage of being ADHD? Every single one went, oh yeah, like really adamant, like, oh yeah, Dave, yeah, absolutely. No one was polite about it. They were just like, oh,
like I was just now.
yeah, right. No, they were all like, oh my God,
I
of
see
course
my
you are.
people. I know my people.
I mean, it could explain why this show goes all over the place between you and me.
But that's probably why it works with us, because we both have it, and so we're probably like we're comfortable with that. when I talk to other people who have the same brain weirdness as I do, like it's like we just connect. It's like you know, like my best friend, like Kimmy. It's like we connect. Like when we talk, like we get each other. It's like when you find those people who have that kind of similar brain thing, it's like we get it. Because I know for a fact I am really fucking annoying to some people because I've been told so. So I know. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but kind of not sorry because this is just who I am. Whatever.
Would I know anybody who told you you're annoying?
Maybe not. I don't know.
No, I'm just wondering because it is like the people who say you're annoying, like just big douchebags anyway.
Not necessarily. It's just, you know what? Not really. Okay. Honestly, not.
Because if the Dalai Lama told you you're annoying, that would be one thing.
Oh, I'd be really hurt. But that would hurt my feelings. That definitely would hurt my feelings. No, I just realized like this is like one of those things. I've been making a lot of like self-realization shit lately, trying to, you know, figure out my life and all those things like you do. And yeah, I just made some realizations that I really am not for everyone. That I am a little, I'm really honest. I don't feel any reason not to be. So some people probably are turned off by that. And I realize that also. And like I am just this is what you get. This is it. And it's just, my personality is too much for some people, I realize. Because I like to talk, I like to ask questions, I like to be in there, like, hey, let's, you know, that's a little intense for some people. I'm realizing it's okay though. So,
do you see yourself as being any kind of
neurodivergent?
Yes.
I was actually going to ask you. I didn't want to.
You said ever.
Before this, if perhaps you had been ever thought about a neurodivergency diagnosis and stuff like that. I don't know. I think.
Wait. When were you thinking of that? Like before we started the show?
Oh yeah.
That's really funny.
Well, I thought you already had, so I thought, oh, this will be a good thing to talk about because it's kind of been on my mind lately.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know about it either. No. This is just how our brains all work, and look at that.
I had no. Till I saw it on a piece of paper. Well, on the screen. It wasn't on paper, but till I saw it on the screen.
Well, I think it's like if it's not something you're like coming into contact, not necessarily people wise, but like obviously like if you're like on social media and stuff like that, I don't know, and stuff like that. There's a lot of, you know, videos and things like that of people like, at least in my algorithm, there's a lot of, you know, people explaining their experiences with being neurodivergent and stuff like that, and like, you know, you start to think like, oh, these are things that I might do and things like that. I think part of the reason now why a lot of people are suddenly like getting diagnonoses.
Yes. I only know that from TV.
I think is because, you know, we're so centered around like social media and stuff like that. We have a lot of, and also with like, if you want to like bring in like LGBTQ, I know a lot of people are like, especially like the older generation, like the boomers are like, oh, all of a sudden everybody's gay now and all of a sudden everybody's mentally ill. But that's just not the truth. It's just that we didn't have the resources that we have now to get, you know, fully resources for, you know, neurodivergence, like to get diagnosed and then like also have a safe space for being comfortable to, you know, come out of the closet LGBTQ wise and stuff like that. And that's why everybody seems gay and mentally ill now.
And stuff is gay.
I mean, if you're cool. Just kidding. Okay. No, I mean, honestly, I think you're right. I think you're right about, no, you know, I'm joking. Yeah, no, I think you have a good point there. I think it's always kind of,
it's always been there. It's just people
like, we're open,
didn't pay attention to it and stuff like that. But
okay, this is gonna sound like it's nothing to do with any of this, but I swear I have the connection.
Okay,
all right, it's kind of like child abduction.
Okay.
See,
where are we going?
Okay.
No, I think percentage-wise, I think there's the same amount of child abductions now as there was like in the 1700s. I just think because of media and social media and whatever, we know more about them.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been more now than back in the day.
You're probably right. People have probably been abducting children since like forever.
And I've had that thought in my head since
You're right. You're
milk
probably
cartons.
correct about
that. So this isn't like I'm just recently obsessing about child abduction. When they started putting missing kids on milk cartons, that thought popped into my head. They didn't have milk cartons in 1700. So I don't think this taking kids, which I don't understand, but whatever, why you'd want to take someone's kid. I don't.
I mean, kids I love my kid, but I mean...
I don't want someone... It's like dogs. I don't want a dog. I like your dog. I don't want a dog.
Oh, I think that the people who are taking kids have slightly different reasons
not
for
like us. They're not like us.
taking them.
We just look at it like that's just one more mouth to feed, and they're going to be annoying and mouthy and rude.
Okay, so back to neurodivergency. I can't believe I got to use the child abduction bit. That's awesome. But yeah, I think weren't we just talking about this, or again, was that something in my head that I just played on about that? I think there's really no such thing as neurotypical.
Yeah, we did. You and I did talk about that.
Yeah, I didn't mean that. All right. I'm starting to wonder. I don't think there is.
It's kind of a hard thing because I know that a lot of people like, oh, well, I do sort of these quirky things, so maybe I have what this is and stuff like that. It's kind of like, I know some people in the community and stuff like that, they're bothered by these terms becoming so commonplace and things like that. Not necessarily education-wise, but like people taking them and making them like... I'm trying to find the words and stuff like that. I guess commonplace is fine and stuff like that. Like changing them so that people who really do have these things are getting like it's less serious and like you have less it's taken less seriously and like people treat you like it's just like any old like, oh yeah, I'm like people when people say like, oh, I have OCD because I'm organized and stuff like that and blah blah blah, or like stuff like that, or like, oh, I must have ADHD because I have a hard time sitting still. When people with these diagnoses actually do have a really hard time living their lives, especially when they're not given the resources to help with whatever their diagnosis is, it makes it kind of like...
We trivialize
trivializes it. Yeah, and stuff like that. But there's also like a side to it where now that it's being talked about more, there's less of a stigma behind mental illness, depression, ADHD. Well, ADHD it's not a mental illness, but it's like
whatever.
Well, whatever. Whatever.
It's supposedly different.
I mean, it's more of like what do you call it? Educational issues and stuff like that.
Neurodivergency. Neurodivergency is good.
Do you identify with any divergency? I'm sorry, that was really rude. Sorry.
No, it's not rude. I don't know. I'm thinking about looking into getting either a therapist or a doctor's opinion on myself. I feel I don't know if I want to.
Big fan of therapy anyway.
Yeah,
honestly, just like even if you're, it's like just getting to know yourself a little better, talking to somebody else who gets, I don't know. I think it's a great thing.
I think to be honest, like everybody could use therapy. No matter whether or not you have.
We're talking to you out there.
No, 100%. I do. I think even if you're still feeling pretty good about yourself, there's probably there's probably some stuff you could learn more if you wanted to. If you're interested in it.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen some. So here's some things I've noticed like on the internet as far as things like especially like something like ADHD or OCD or what's one of the other ones? I don't know, whatever. There's a lot of people that go on like things. I don't know. I don't have TikTok, but of course I see, because it still spills onto Instagram and Facebook and the world and stuff. And I'll see like these people who talk about their ADHD, like that is who they are. That's like their whole entire being. And that's, I don't know. It just kind of makes me question it a little bit because it seems like it might be just being done for clout to look like some sort of like weird clout. Like, I mean, that's not a clout I want, but some people might want that kind of weird clout. Like, oh my God, I'm so quirky. I have ADHD.
Yeah.
I have this weird thing. And yeah, I don't know. It really, I've seen it. It bugs the fuck out of me. It really does.
Well, to any degree, I mean, not so much even about divergency. I don't know how to put this as an ism, but when someone's an asshole and they go, yeah, I know I'm an asshole, and then they go and act like an asshole. It's like, just because you announced it first doesn't mean it's okay. So just because you announced you have something, it doesn't mean it's okay to do something fucked up.
Well, I mean, most people with ADHD don't do. I mean, okay,
I know, but
yeah,
that's what I'm
like I
saying.
mean,
That's why,
yeah,
you know, because of my OCD, I didn't, like you were saying, Stella, like because of my OCD, I
it's
did
like your
something.
whole personality is OCD or ADHD or whatever other mental whatever diagnosis.
If you're just kind of a tool, don't use the term OCD or ADHD just because.
Really, more what I was saying was like talking about like people who haven't gotten a diagnosis.
Right.
Not that necessarily diagnosing yourself is a bad thing if it helps you. Like if you really do think you have something and it helps you
always go to a professional.
Not 23.
Get resources and things like that. Then absolutely. But you know, people using those terms without an actual diagnosis and just
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
like I don't know. Like we said, like trivializing them and stuff like that, making them out to be just like, oh, it's so cool because I like have this or that and things like that, or oh, I do this because I have this.
It's really difficult to. Like I said, I've been realizing it more, and I've been talking out with friends, and I'm like, I've been having some hard times lately socially, and I'm realizing that I'm like, God damn it, it's just the way my brain works and the way it links. And I had some guy call me out on Facebook recently on one of Jenna's posts, like saying that I was a virtue signaler and like called me all these names and stuff because all I did was post about this cool vision I had of this man on the bus on one of the Rosa Parks days, and I just posted it because Jenna posted about Rosa Parks Day, and it's like, oh, I had this really beautiful experience with a man on the bus, and I was explaining it, and this guy got really offended about my explanation, and he was like thinking that I was, because the person on the bus looked like they were disabled, and so I mentioned it, and they were like, are you making fun of disabled people? I'm like, no, I'm just saying what I saw on the bus. I just saw this person and this is what they look like, and I wasn't putting anybody down. I was just painting a picture. And then I thought about it. I'm like, first of all, the internet is not the place for people to like get all upset and everything, but I'm like, I was just literally painting a picture of what I saw, and because of what Jenna posted, it made me think about it, and so I posted it to her. And this guy went off and said I was doing all these things, like you feel sorry, you think, you know, disabled people are pitiful, or you think. I'm like, what? Like, he just got all these things out of what I said about this man on the bus. And then Jenna finally had to come back to me and say, I'm so sorry about what that guy said to you.
Do you want to tell me his name?
His name is...
I don't know.
I don't know me either. But
it's a small town.
Yeah. But, you know, it's like he was... And then I realized, I'm like, one of the things I do, which I've done my entire life, and I've had some other people tell me it's annoying, as I've found out. It's like my way of like getting to understand people and communicating with them is like, somebody tells me something. So you tell me a thing, and then my brain goes, oh my God, I have a story with that too. So I'm going to tell you my story, and I'm really excited about my story. I'm going to tell you my story, and then you're going to tell me, oh my God, I love your story. And then you're going to tell me another story. And this is my love language. This is how I talk to people. This is how I am. Like I relate to you by telling you a story about myself that relates to the thing. But some people think that's one-upmanship, or they think
like
it's virtue signaling, or they
yourself.
think or they think you're making about yourself. And then I'm like, I'm not, but I see why they think it.
Well, I can tell
and
you,
that's why I'm like, fuck.
So
I'm not good at this.
So if you are ever in any kind, well, if you ever become a teacher, they'll make you go to professional development with this, or if you work in the mental health field, like a hillside type thing, you do, and even do role plays. Oh, I hate role plays so much.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know my favorite either.
About what they call active listening. And one of the things that stands out for me when you're doing real active listening is you're not thinking about while the person's talking, you're not thinking about what your response is going to be. No, I hear you. I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So some people who like get weird with that may have gone through these trainings like over and over again, really, and about active listening, because one of the things is, and they talk about body language, how, don't have your arms crossed, and
Right.
I'm going to do this on the
actually
microphone
do
on
try to
purpose.
do not all that stuff.
Don't lean
back.
back.
I make more efforts.
Right. But one of the things is when the person's talking, don't think about what your response is.
Can't do it.
I understand.
Can't do it.
I do it too most of the time.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
That's like one of those things with the ADHD thing. It's like my brain is going 24/7 all the time, unless I'm sleeping, and then it's doing whatever its sleeping thing is. Like there could be 5 things going into my head before I even say it. So there is absolutely no, and I've tried to do it. I've tried to do what you're you're saying. My brain will not allow that. It goes, nope, you're going to be thinking about other things. You know what you're thinking about right now? You're thinking about this.
And so it's, to a degree, it's the same thing as somebody who is somewhere on the spectrum. And like another person, I've decided, I wrote it down, I'm not going to call it neurotypical anymore. I'm calling it neurodull. That's what I've decided. So anybody who's neurodull, who doesn't understand, what somebody on the spectrum might be dealing with, go, why does that person keep talking about pirates? Like no matter what we talk about, they keep bringing it back to pirates, and if they don't quite understand that and can't roll with it, then they'll say something stupid like, "Yo, man, how come everyone we're trying to talk about the Super Bowl, you keep bringing up pirates, right?"
And they don't get it.
And they don't
understand.
It.
Yeah. One of my good friends, one of my close friends, has a son who's autistic, and we are Facebook friends. Because he's an adult. He's actually about your age, maybe a little bit slightly older than you. And when one of our cats died, he went on my post and asked very pointed questions about it. And I was really nervous about one of my friends going on there and going, "Oh my God, why are you asking her so many questions about her cat? Don't you understand that she's..."
Yeah.
And I totally got it, of course, because I know him, and
Right.
so I answered his questions because I know he does care. He really does care. And this is just how he shows it, is he asks questions. He really truly cares. I was just like, I paid attention to that post for a while. I was like, oh my God, if one of you fuckers goes on there and says something to that guy, I'm just gonna delete it and tell you, no. You have to understand people. And this is the other thing that Jenna, this is one of the things that we talked about, is like, think about who your friends are. Like, would Jenna and Sam be friends with somebody who thought disabled people were pitiful? Like, would they be friends with someone who thought that? And it's just like, think about the things like who is the person you're talking to? And like, I don't know. I just feel like people aren't thinking about these things enough.
In your situation specifically, though, and you're okay. I mean, you just jump right in. I don't know if you're okay. I'm fine. I just didn't want you to think that we're just like not including you. Just
No,
jump
it's
in.
okay.
Okay. That I mean, it's possible again. Now, I will try to think what that dude might be. Maybe he is somebody with a disability who has experienced shit, and it's like triggering for him. And so which isn't your fault or responsibility. Right. I'm just trying to explain the exchange there. So that could have been it. Or it could be
it actually is. It actually was part of it. But even after I explained myself and apologized profusely of like, I am so sorry that made you feel that way. I understand why you'd feel that way. And then I explained my weird brain, and like my brain does this thing where I get really excited and then I see it and I just do it and I just say it because I just do that. And I know it's not the best thing, and I appreciate you pointing it out, but yeah, but instead of just being understanding and going, "Oh, I see. You're not an asshole. Your brain just did a weird thing." Instead of like knowing that, he just kept going down with it. I was like, dude, really? Come on.
And it could be a mix. I mean, there's that hybrid of people on the internet. Just will
you know
say
what's funny?
anything.
He got brought up today as somebody who I might be friends with, and I was like, "Oh no, we'll get rid of that one right away."
Yeah,
and then Dan felt bad for me, and then I said to him, Dan's my husband. Dan felt bad for me, he's like, well, his karma. I go, he already has karma. They already saw everything he said to me, and it was really out of line and ridiculous. So you know what? Now other people saw it and went, wow, that guy was kind of really out of line and ridiculous after she explained herself, for you to be so mad.
What's your internet footprint like?
My internet footprint?
Yeah.
My digital footprint? Oh,
yeah.
Lord knows. Lord knows. I mean, my Instagram, every like the things that I post are clean. The things that I like, God knows. Only Lord knows. I like sometimes I'll like something, I'll think, digital footprint, and I'll unlike it. It's kind of
I feel
crazy
like I should
thing.
probably be more like that.
Because it's there forever.
Would you mind like what? Do you mind?
Do you just
can you say a generic-y thing?
It's just like, I just like
it's not about child abduction, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not quite that far gone. No, it's not like bad morally wrong stuff. So. It's just like
I do it sometimes. I'll like something and then I'll think about it for a second. I'm like, maybe I don't.
Yeah.
I do that. You'd ever do that? Like, I have a moment of like, I do like it, and then I'll think about it for a second. I'm like, oh wait, maybe I don't.
Sure. I'll be honest. I have done way more. I'm not saying I never have, but I've done way more. Okay, so what I use social media for the most part, is if it's not Stewart based, it's activism based.
Right.
I would say 90%. The occasional friends or something like that, but generally that's what. And Stella and I were talking. I'm on like way too much shit under way too many different names,
you do way
groups,
more
or whatever.
than I even want to bother
and
with.
So a lot of times my liking.
I basically have 4 accounts that I care about: 2 on Facebook, 2 on. I mean, I'm admins for some other stuff on Facebook.
And you got a
but,
business.
Right, but that's the only that's it. I have my business account and my personal account on Facebook. I have my business account, my personal account on Instagram, and those are pretty much it. And then I did join Blue Sky, but that's just been kind of having just like some fun here and there.
I still don't quite get that one yet.
Well, I guess it's what do you call it? Like it's kind of similar to
supposedly
Instagram
like Twitter.
Lite. Twitter Lite.
But I don't quite understand how they're. Like, I'll see somebody's post, and then there's like a couple of like replies in my feed without me having to go.
I think I just have to keep playing with it. I haven't been playing with it enough.
I mean, I'm using it for Stuart, and I'm using it for.
I have more followers and
cool
stuff.
Cats and,
whatever.
It's all good. Anyway, back to ADHD people, I guess. I was just wondering. I mean, are you? How often?
What do the
want
kids
it?
do?
Well, I'm not saying a kid, just someone who hasn't been on the show.
With the kids, I'm interested actually.
I'm not asking you as quote the kids. I'm asking you for you because you haven't been on the show. That's why I'm asking. May I have one, please? I was just about to get up myself.
Like, how often am I on like social media and stuff like that?
Well, are you always on your phone?
Pretty much, yeah.
Are you?
Well, I don't have.
Certain person in this house always is.
I think I would be if I had more going on in my life, but I don't. I just work and then I come home and then I repeat the process.
You work at the Schwegmans?
Yes, I work at Wegmans.
we were joking. Yeah, last week I think when we were talking about it, we're like, it rhymes with Schwegmans.
It does. Supposedly, I don't know if it's still there. There was a grocery store chain down south in Louisiana that was literally called Schwegmans.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Copycats.
Well, I don't know who was first. And I heard about this really I say this every day now. This is how I know I'm old. Like when I was your age. I do this in school almost every day now. When I was your age. Get off my lawn. No, so anyway, I don't know if it's still around. I don't know what came first.
Wait, how old are you now? 18?
19.
19, okay. I knew you were somewhere in that. Right?
So
oh my goodness.
I'm not asking you about someone your age. I'm just asking you as being someone who's never been on the show before. So how much you're on.
I'm on social media quite frequently and stuff like that. So yeah.
More as a consumer of it, not necessarily content creator.
So just like for fun and
just for fun, looking at stuff, looking at my For You page and whatnot. I don't actually have TikTok though, so yeah.
I don't have TikTok because I have a feeling if I had it, it would be a bad thing for me. I think I would
become addicted.
I wouldn't post anything because I couldn't be bothered, but I would just watch it all the time. It would just be like YouTube. I already have a bad addiction to YouTube, so I feel like this would just would just be another addiction.
Are you on Pillow Fort?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, she's probably never heard.
I know. So I said that for you. Stuart's on like ridiculous things that no one's ever heard of. Pillow Fort, lips.social, minds.com. I know you're looking at me like,
What is it?
I know. Minds.com is more of a libertarian kind of wasteland, which is very interesting. Pillow Fort, I can't quite get a handle. It seems to be definitely younger people. People who, actually, that might not be a bad. They seem to be drawers.
Artists?
Drawers. People who draw. They seem to be people who are very into different. I don't even want to start throwing lingo around because I don't know the lingo and what it means. So, but they definitely seem to all the.
I feel like artist would be good.
Artists, thank you. But yeah, they definitely seem to be more in the art type field kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that. Yeah, how I go on to post about the new podcast that's up. I don't really spend much time. Lips.social is a platform that's supposed to be a more erotic version of Instagram.
Okay.
Well, because Instagram has all these weird rules.
Guidelines?
Yeah, that they seem to uphold for some people and not for others, which I'm noticing. And this was started to compete with that. And we post up there because sometimes some of the shows we do take on some of those themes.
A little bit raunchy.
Yeah. Something guy with a vagina mold on his shelf. So we interviewed the company.
We did.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which means I need to get in touch with them for the Erotic Arts Festival.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You should write that down so you don't forget. Just saying. Sorry. I'm not your secretary. Just
You're not. Well, if you were, you'd be writing it.
I know. I would be terrible at it.
For second year in a row, we're going to be podcasting from the Rochester Erotic Arts Festival.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
The company that makes Clone a Willy and Clone a Pussy offered to give us some free ones to use to like a raffle kind of thing.
Cool.
Yeah. So I got to contact them though. It's not till April. So if you're
coming up,
if you're going to
though,
be in the Auburn, New York area in the weekend of April 19th or somewhere on there, you can come and
Took it off.
sign up for we got hotel room and everything.
We did. We got hotel rooms not in the cool hotel where all the shit's going down, but that's fine.
Man,
It's probably gonna be. Honestly, I like to actually go to sleep. So if I was in that hotel where all this stuff's going down, I'd be too noisy.
that's true. 2:00 in the morning, if I'm ready to go to bed, I don't need people in adults in diapers running around the hall crying like babies. Literally,
Whatever. I mean, and it's fine. It just, I'm actually kind of glad that now that we didn't get a hotel room there, we got a hotel room another place. Just up the street, though.
So anyway, social media.
Social media.
Yeah, but I didn't think about that Pillow Fort. Actually, especially asking you about where you were and if you're doing illustrating, and that would be.
If you like to do illustrations of nudes and stuff, which I think most people.
Well, that wasn't a Pillow Fort thing.
Oh, I thought that was the nudes and stuff.
Oh no, that was lips.social.
Lips. Oh, that's Lips.
And there's illustrations on there too. But I think that's it. I think that's all the social.
So are you going to school?
Not at the moment. No, not yet.
Take some time. Enjoy yourself.
We went back on Tumblr.
Oh,
Stuart
okay.
went back on Tumblr. Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, Twitter, Minds, Facebook. Oh, and YouTube as well. So
Cool.
yeah, that's my life.
You got it all.
Do you post your art on Instagram?
Not really at the moment. I'm not sure.
Moment, you're not feeling
I'm
that
confident in my skills.
Got you. I understand
to
that.
put it out for the masses.
No, I understand that too. It took. I mean, honestly, it took me a long time to be okay with it myself. I didn't ever. I mean, until I actually had a business, and then I was like, oh, okay, I guess I have to post things that I make online now.
You do your bracelets, but you don't do your other stuff too much.
I'm starting to though. I did recently. I posted one of the collages I did.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting it out there, so I totally get it. I really do understand that. It's like, well, I mean, I think it's kind of cool, but if other people say mean things about it, I don't know if I want to hear it. So never mind, I don't want to hear about it.
When you were doing it for school, when people had to, like, give you feedback on it,
Yeah.
I mean, did you take the feedback well?
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel I take constructive criticism pretty good. I'm in I take all opportunities to learn and stuff like that.
But just some random douche online going, "This sucks." That would be just.
Less for me about like hate comments, but more for me about like people I know seeing my stuff. I don't know. I think it's more for like when you have like family and friends who are like in your, like if it were just a bunch of strangers, I'd probably post stuff. But it's not.
Oh, yeah. No, I understand what you mean.
Like people, like my family could like find it and like see my stuff and then ask me questions.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if you really wanted to, you could create like a private thing
Instagram and stuff like
private
that. I
Instagram
know.
and stuff. But
I know.
But if you're not even that, I mean, whether you're comfortable or not,
You could do that,
doing
and you
it.
could take one of our band names.
As an
call it that.
Instagram account name.
Yeah.
Well, I would say like one of my friends doesn't really feel comfortable on the social medias posting their opinions about all the bullshit in the world, and I forgot that they did this. They actually did create a completely separate account just to be able to post the things that piss them off, and that's it. Because this person is kind of similar to what Jenna and I were talking about. Like, I hate people taking things that I say and turning it into something else, and having like all this, like we were talking about, like things like the infighting between liberal minded people. Like, if you're not liberal enough, if you're not if you're not blah 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 blah, I'm gonna beat you up and say all these nasty things about you. And so I don't know, there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of like, you could educate people, but there's a lot of like, I'm not going to educate you, I'm just going to make you feel bad about something that you said.
Well, I think the internet itself, it's kind of a big thing. It's like the internet itself has become like an excruciatingly hard place to navigate and stuff like that.
Why are we still doing it?
I was still doing what?
Why are we still doing it? No, you're right. You're 100%. You are right. It is becoming excruciating to navigate it.
Well, I think it's because it's addicting. It's because the internet has two sides, and on one hand, it's like incredibly creative and stuff like that. There's so much content on there for you to consume and stuff that you have all this like art and music and these posts from people, and a lot of people use it as like a way to get attention and things like that. It feels good. And I mean, I'm addicted. I couldn't put, even though some of the things that I read or like the comments that are absurd make me so upset and like so angry, I don't think I could log off. Like, people are like, oh, just delete social media. Oh, just, what do you mean you're... Another topic is like cyberbullying, and people like, you'll have those people who are like, how are you going to let like a computer make you upset? Like, how are you going to let these people just log off? Just log off. Just don't pay attention to it. But our like society and everybody that uses social media. And if they don't, they're kind of out of touch and stuff like that. Our society like revolves around the internet and social media. It's like kind of like, I don't know, like a tone deaf thing just to be like, oh yeah, no, it's your fault for getting upset by these things that people tell you, for being bullied online, because you could just delete Instagram, you could just delete whatever social media. And while that's true, it's very hard. It's just like any other addiction. You just can't let go of it. It's part of your daily life and stuff like that.
Do you think it's necessary though, that we're at this point that we kind of like feel like it's not? Because I hate to say it, but I almost feel like it's necessary.
It is necessary. I think the internet.
I think it's true.
The internet itself is necessary.
There are folks now, and not just a few, who are having internet access be considered a utility, just like electricity,
I think it should be.
water, things like that? The ability to get information. And then you run into the thing, is it real, is the information credible, that kind of stuff. But that's a different... Those things
I'm just
aren't being
thinking
put
about
together.
social media. Social media is the one thing, because everybody uses the internet to look up information.
Yeah.
You
Right.
don't have to have.
To
I have
now,
friends who've
Instagram.
never.
Now-
I have friends who've never had an Instagram or a Facebook or
But
an any.
now
of that.
you need to even apply for a job or to unemployment and things like that. You have to do it online as opposed to back
Right.
in the
Oh
day.
yeah, definitely.
Right.
that.
Well, I mean, I think social media itself is technically not necessary. You can live without social media, and there are people who, like you said,
Yeah, I have friends that do.
don't.
Yeah,
use
I know two
social
people right
media.
off the top of my head who've
The
never
internet,
done it.
It's impossible to
Yeah.
almost live without and function in our society without the internet. Social media, yeah, you can, but it's extremely addictive, and it's a large part of our population's lives at this point. So it's not just something you can just put down.
It's all porn's fault.
Have you ever? Have you ever? I've done this a few times, where I stopped being on social media for a few months and stuff. Have you ever?
I've
done
thought about it. I've never done it.
I've done it.
I've thought it would be. I know it would be good for me. I know it would, because it would take away the stress. And
It
stuff
was
like
actually.
that.
I've done it. 3 times now I've done it where I logged off for a few months, and to be honest, I did a lot of things I made a bunch of art.
Nice.
And I did some gardening. I remember doing some really good gardening, and and I also, right before I got married, I did, so I could just concentrate on that, and that was really great. It actually is kind of nice sometimes to go off for a little bit.
Speaking
I know,
of
we're
speaking of
way
social
over.
media, we're over an hour. Yeah. So
not
like I said, we never know what the hell we're going to talk about, and then next thing you know, we're way over time.
Always.
So, I say this, and it's always you are welcome anytime.
Okay.
Whenever you
Yeah,
feel like
you're
if you got
great.
something
You're
you
like a
want to
natural.
talk about, just damn it, Dave, I want to be heard by tens of people.
Tons of people.
That's pretty much it. Tens of people. Anytime.
Well, tons of people all over the world, though.
That's true. It's not just. In fact, I think there's not very many people from this town that actually listen to us.
I have some friends in Finland that listen.
Nice.
Hi, Johan.
Nice.
I know we have one listener in New Jersey, I know for sure, and one in Virginia, who I know for sure. Hi, y'all. They're listening. And
And your dad.
Yeah, my dad's
Hey, Brian.
my dad. He's listening, and I'll be there, and we'll be doing a podcast from there as well. Speaking
That
of my
would be
friend,
hilarious.
speaking of my friend Felix, well, he
Your dad's
hasn't
so
been on in a
funny.
while.
I know. He's so funny.
Last time I was there, we it was Jade and I did a show together. That was actually it's still online. And so anyway, we'll be back next week. I have no idea what. Felix won't be on because he's a bastard. So,
God damn you, Felix.
damn it.
Trying to usurp me.
Yeah. So, we'll all sorts of things happening. StuartBordasco.com. Let me do the things. StuartBordasco.com. And from there, you can listen to Stuart Bordasso Radio, which is on 24/7. We have a Patreon page if you want to help out with $1 a month, and they'll help pay for this. And then we have CoolCatsForChange.com, which has 2 to 3 postings a week of different ways you can stick it to the man by the internet and social media. And there's also places there where you can figure out what to boycott and what not to boycott. And if you want to start a co-op, there's information there about that too. So that's CoolCatsForChange.com. All the social medias that we talked about today, we have all that stuff. And please don't join a social media outlet just for us. If you're already there, don't fuck up your life anymore. Just on account of us. Yeah, just what you're already doing. And we'll be back next week.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry.
Just like that, a moment turns political.
If you're going to talk, tell the whole story, Senator
Let me
Sanders.
tell my story, you tell yours.
I will.
Your story is for voting for every disastrous trade agreement and voting for corporate America.
Why stop to take a pill? And when you're dealing with Uncle Ted, why pause to go to the bathroom? With Sandalis for daily use, you don't have to stop the flow of the moment. It's the only approved daily medication to treat Bernie erectile dysfunction, so you can be ready anytime someone asks you, where the hell is Bernie now that the election is over? Plus, Sandalis treats the annoying symptoms of Stockholm Syndrome, like questioning your decades-long adherence to a corporate party.
Hillary Clinton understands that we must fix an economy in America that is rigged and that sends almost all of the new wealth and income to the top 1%.
Sandalis may cause you not to see wars, genocide, or racism. You may also be inclined to look for solutions within the system. Before starting Sandalis, tell your doctor about medications you're taking and ask if your heart is healthy enough to be fooled by a politician again. Seek immediate medical attention if delusions last more than 4 news cycles.
I am not a pacifist.
Sandalis, for when the real world gets too real.